I am still in the hospital. Today is actually day number 6 that I've been here. Now, what I will say is, when I came to check in for this, I really thought it would be a 1-day process, maybe a 2-day process. I would get some antibiotics that I needed, everything would turn around, and I'd be good to go. It has proved to be anything but that. So what I'm dealing with is a very bad case of cellulitis, and there's different bacteria that can cause this condition. Very hard to say why it started or how it started, but it is extremely aggressive. So once the infection set in, everything just kind of took off like a wildfire. And so what we've been trying to do is get that under control. Now, we've tried a series of different antibiotics that I have had to use, through an IV. And, as you can see, I've been poked. I mean, I don't know, countless times. I've had so many different, kind of IV lines ran in me. At this point, it's just a little ridiculous, to be fair. Yeah, well, hopefully we can get this cleared up. I mean, that would be ideal, but.
Yeah, really quick. Someone that it affects more than others. Most people don't even really feel that.
Okay.
That's the worst part. We'll pinch your burn. We'll sting here. You got some tough muscle, and just his skin's extra tough. And I'm in the vein, but I need to pass like a bigger tube in there, and it just doesn't want to get past his skin.
And that just goes in.
But it goes in your vein there, and then just kind of extends up the vein almost to your armpit. And I expect to have that little bit of difficulty with the wire, it's called a midline. Midline IV, yeah.
It was a little bit more than it was explained to me.
That was a lot.
Yeah, it was supposed to be just a little bit more intense than doing IV, but hopefully that solves all the problems, because my arm right now, like this spot, you can probably see how red it is, but yeah, it's all just so hard. Like everything is just like a rock right there. And that's where one of the other IVs was. This one is feeling that same way. This IV here is feeling that it's hard like that as well. And then today they poked me a few times to try to get more, but they just said my veins are not, hard to poke, apparently, with IVs, and also my veins reject them. I'm just chalking that up to being strong. So glad that is over. And now we have kind of honed in on the antibiotics that should treat, I think it's a strep and staph type of bacteria strain that we're now going to try to treat to get this under control. So I've had so many different people I've met with this, from wound care to infectious disease doctors, the regular doctors, and all I keep telling them is I just want the path to get better. I think that's how my brain works overall, and this has been extremely challenging for me. I'm a very positive guy, but I'm trying to channel it into something positive. I always try to believe that, things happen for a reason, and there has to be a reason that I'm going through this, that I'm being challenged by this in some way, shape, or form. And maybe it's the extreme pain that I have to go through every time I have to stand up, because just, taking my leg from an elevated position, going down to the ground, standing up and going to the bathroom is right now unbelievably challenging and painful. So, maybe it's that extreme type of feeling of pain that is hardening me up as I get back into training, and back into my routine. Anything's going to maybe seem easy compared to that, but there's a lot of other challenges that I've had to face with this. And one of the hardest things is feeling like I'm not there for my boys and for my wife, you know, and it's been tough. I mean, it really has. I mean, one of my sons, my older son Braxton, just started basketball, and he's been so excited about that. And you know, obviously myself being a former, you know, college basketball player, I'm so pumped for him to be excited about that. And I want to be there to help him and to show him and to be excited, you know, with him. And you know, as we're speaking tonight, I think he's just getting done with one of his little practices. And you know, again, he probably doesn't fully understand that I'm going through this, that I can't physically be there, but I want to be there. I can't explain how bad it makes me feel, you know, to not be there for those moments. My other son, Kellen, is doing swimming. I want to be there to see him go through that, to be a good dad, and to be present, you know, and Carrie's been an absolute rock star with this, you know, stepping up and kind of shouldering all of that, taking care of the boys, taking care of the house, taking care of everything, that I can't in this time.
Hi, Dad. We hope you have a good day. When you come home, we said you have a good day. When you come home, we have this shop of candy for you, and we are going to use it. I get this. Kellen, stop! I'm still talking. It's my turn. No, we're gonna use it to buy Hot Wheels monster trucks.
We're just going to keep moving forward and be ready to rock and roll. And hopefully, you know, going through this adversity that I'm going through right now will turn into a good thing. It can, right? And you know, I've seen a lot of people in here. I've had, you know, 3 different roommates now since I've been here. And you know, a couple of them were, well, actually all 3, but they were in very bad situations, right? Very bad. And, you know, it makes me sad for them, certainly, but it also makes me go back and say, look, it could be worse, right? So if I've got something to compare it to, that, you know, right now I'm in a room, thankfully, finally I'm all by myself, which is awesome. But if I've got something to compare it to that's worse, then I'm not as bad, and I have to be thankful for that. So, you know, that's kind of my mentality right now. And, you know, tomorrow has to be a good day. That's all it is. So we're going to keep rocking like that. And hopefully this thing will, heal up. And you know, now that it's wrapped up the way it is, you know, it's kind of different to wake up. I can still see the swelling, but I don't quite know what's under there. So I just try to convince myself that what's under there is better. Everything is better, and it's trying to heal up, and that we're going to get there. We are officially back in the gym. I got released from the hospital about 2 hours ago. So from the hospital, I had to go over and get a different antibiotic treatment. If you remember, I had this line that was put into my arm here. They were debating on leaving the line in, which would have meant no lifting for me, which I was completely against. So they did the treatment. I had them take it out, and I'm going to have to go back for at least one more treatment there. But in order to do that, they'll just poke me again somewhere and make that happen. So I'm so thankful to be out of the hospital. They basically just wrapped my leg up here and said I was good enough. I had shown enough progress going into this. I literally thought I would go in and I'd get some IV antibiotics. I'd be good to go. 8 days later, here I am, right? So I feel like complete garbage, if I'm being completely honest with you. I wasn't able to eat like I normally would, although my wife brought me meals to kind of supplement in between, thank goodness. No training, and I'm a guy that has trained religiously since high school. So, you know, I've, you know, looking back at the last 2 weeks, I think I've got in 2 training days in the last 2 weeks, which is more of a break than I can literally remember in my entire lifting career. So I tried to stay focused, tried to stay positive, but to say to you that I'm in a good spot right now, mentally or physically, would be a lie. So I'm in the gym. I have to be smart with what I'm doing in the gym. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to get some blood moving. And to be honest with you, of course, this is physical, but a lot of this right now for me is mental. Just being back in here, I just need to do something now that I'm out of the hospital. So, you know, a lot of people have told me my entire life, to be fair, things that I have done have been crazy. You know, and most people, I understand, would get out of the hospital for 8 days and say, I need to go lay down, I need to go, you know, get in bed, whatever. That is not me. That has never been me. We have work to do. I set out a goal of winning World's Strongest Man. We've had to deal with a pretty major speed bump here, but they gave me the freedom to get out of the hospital, which means I have the freedom to come in the gym and the freedom to get to work. So that's exactly what we're going to do. All those IV spots, just painful. I was given very detailed instructions not to get this wet or saturated. Now it looks like it's peeling up a little bit. It's crazy how literally, you know, not even 2 weeks ago, I guess at this point, how easy the training was, you know, and how quickly, obviously, fighting off a unbelievably nasty leg infection, and then just sitting in a bed and not being able to be active, move, that type of stuff, how quickly that will, you know, kind of diminish where your body is. But I know how quickly I can bounce back, and how quickly my body will bounce back. So, you know, it's such an interesting thing, because you walk in to a session like this, you know, and there's obviously a tremendous amount of discipline that goes into walking out here, because, you know, I'd be lying to you guys if I said it was easy. You know, I didn't get home and I wasn't, you know, more tired from the activity today of getting out of the hospital, you know, getting all my stuff packed up, all of that. But this now is a win, even though it's such a minuscule session overall for me. It's a great step in the right direction. And again, it's good for my mind, certainly good for my body as well, but it's just good for my mind to feel like I took a positive step in the right direction here. And so all I've got to do now is build positive momentum going forward from this point right now. And this is exactly how to do it. So, you know, being disciplined enough to get out here on this day is going to make tomorrow easier. It's going to make the next day easier. And we're going to roll from there. Now, back is against the wall. I've got a tremendous amount of work to get done to get ready for World's Strongest Man. But I've been in tough positions before. I've had my back up against the wall before. I have found a way before, and I'll find a way again. So, you know, we just got to chip away. Just got to chip away a day at a time and keep moving forward.
Yeah!